I've been researching polycystic kidney disease for over 4 years now, and there's a recent breakthrough randomized controlled trial study in humans that is going to revolutionize the way that people with polycystic kidney disease or their loved ones take care of themselves in the future. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician. Let's talk about polycystic kidney disease. It is the most common inherited kidney disease in modern society. The hallmark finding of polycystic kidney disease is enlarging cysts in the kidney that eventually take over the entire kidney if the disease is not managed, and decreasing kidney function. It's one of the leading causes of
Hallo julle. Ons gaan nou die video begin. Yes, ons praat bietjie vanaand oor polycystic kidney disease. Hallo Jan, hallo Deedrey. Hallo John. Hi Morney, ek sê julle, ja, gee gou die mense kans dat hulle net bietjie inkom. Ja, hierdie is Dr. Ken Berry, hy is al so 6 jaar op die carnivore dieet. En ja, hy gaan praat oor die niere, ons het 'n paar kommentare gekry oor die niere, en ons praat oor polycystic kidney disease, en daar is 'n nuwe studie uit, en hy gaan nou daaroor praat. En dan kan ons so na die tyd so 'n bietjie 'n reaksie gee en so. Baie dankie. As julle die like knoppie kan druk dat die live bietjie hardloop, dan sal dit goed wees. Dankie vir almal wat hier is. Kom ons begin hom.
I've been researching polycystic kidney disease for over 4 years now, and there's a recent breakthrough randomized controlled trial study in humans that is going to revolutionize the way that people with polycystic kidney disease or their loved ones take care of themselves in the future. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician. Let's talk about polycystic kidney disease. It is the most common inherited kidney disease in modern society. The hallmark finding of polycystic kidney disease is enlarging cysts in the kidney that eventually take over the entire kidney if the disease is not managed, and decreasing kidney function. It's one of the leading causes of end-stage kidney diseases and the need for dialysis as well. This is an inherited condition of the kidney, so if you have any parents, grandparents, or anyone in your family, back up your family tree, who had some weird kidney disease that caused them to die early, then this is something you should probably get checked for, because most young people have no idea they have polycystic kidney disease until the symptoms start, and at that point a lot of damage has already been done. The signs and symptoms to look for are decreasing kidney function when your doctor checks for your kidney function, repetitive urinary tract infections, having a kidney stone young in life or having multiple kidney stones, also blood in your urine for no apparent reason. Now, there are some signs and symptoms that have nothing to do with your kidney. So if you've had any of these, then you probably need to see your doctor and get checked for polycystic kidney disease as well. And that includes high blood pressure for no real reason, especially young in life, left ventricular hypertrophy, any kind of cysts on your liver. Yeah, diverticulosis. A lot of people with diverticulosis don't understand that there's a potentially related kidney disease as well. Abdominal hernias for no real reason, inguinal hernias for no real reason, or just abdominal or flank pain. Any of these can be early warning signs of polycystic kidney disease. Now, for years, researchers have known in studies, in rat studies, and in cat studies that being in ketosis slowed down the progression and in many cases actually improved kidney function in these animals that they used as polycystic kidney disease models. And so most animals in research studies are fed once a day, because you've got these animals in a cage and you don't want to spend all day feeding them 3 meals a day with snacks in between, so you feed them once a day. Now, a lot of the early studies with rodents, this once a day method of feeding, they would restrict their calories as well. And so they initially thought, well, it's because of the calorie restriction. But what some smart researchers said, well, you're only feeding them once a day. So actually what you're also doing is a time restricted feeding model. So it could be that the intermittent fasting of the animals eating one meal a day, that could be improving their kidney function and slowing down polycystic kidney disease progression. It could be the fasting. And indeed, we now have a new study looking at polycystic kidney disease in humans, a randomized controlled trial. And we're going to talk about that trial in just a second so that you can understand the good news that this study gives us. But you have to first understand that even back in 2019, it was well known when studying animal models that the animals being in ketosis prevented polycystic kidney disease or reversed polycystic kidney disease. It actually shrunk the size of the cysts and it improved the kidney function of these animals. Now, in the animal models of polycystic kidney disease, both time-restricted feeding, which in humans we would call intermittent fasting, slowed the progression and improved kidney function, and feeding them a diet that put them into a therapeutic state of ketosis. In humans, this would be analogous to eating a ketogenic diet. Actually decreased the progression and improved kidney function and decreased the size of the cysts in the kidneys of these animals that they were using to model polycystic kidney disease. Now, on to the new study published in November of 2023 in Cell Reports Medicine. This was a randomized controlled trial in humans. So this is the study that I've been waiting 4 years to happen so that I could actually make a video about polycystic kidney disease and what you should do about it and what you should not do about it. In this randomized controlled trial, they found that being in ketosis, because you're eating a ketogenic diet, shrunk the size of polycystic kidneys, shrunk the size of the cysts, and improved the function of kidneys from people suffering from polycystic kidney disease. This is a human study, not an animal study, and it's a randomized controlled trial. So it's really hard for anybody to argue at this point that if you have polycystic kidney disease or you had a loved one, a father, mother, grandparent who had polycystic kidney disease and you're at risk because it is genetically transmitted, the predisposition. If you start a ketogenic diet early enough in life, and then going from the animal models also includes some degree of time-restricted eating in a 6-hour window. So having 1 or 2 meals a day and making those 1 or 2 meals a day a ketogenic diet type meal, very, very low in carbohydrates, you are most likely to be able to prevent polycystic kidney disease from ever rearing its ugly head in your life at the best. Now, the very worst case scenario is that your polycystic kidney disease is going to progress much less slowly. You're going to have much less kidney damage done. You're going to preserve kidney function for years longer than you would have done otherwise if you were eating the standard Western diet. And you're going to put off having to be on dialysis due to end-stage renal disease. You could potentially put that off by decades by eating a ketogenic diet very strictly and by doing some degree of time-restricted eating. Now, I was super excited about these findings, and so I rushed over to the PKD Foundation's website, figuring that they'd already updated their website and were recommending a ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting for everyone with PKD. And when I get to their site, I find that under nutrition, they say there's really no evidence that any dietary intervention has any effect on it, and they go on later on the page to recommend the DASH diet, which there's literally no research that in any way protects kidney function if you have polycystic kidney disease, so I'm not real sure where they got that from. So let me kind of sum up everything we know about polycystic kidney disease so far and everything that you should do and should not do if you have polycystic kidney disease or if you are the child or the grandchild of someone who had polycystic kidney disease. Now, there are genetic tests for this, but most doctors don't do them very often and would have to look it up to see what the test is. But if you are at risk, if you think, well, you know, great-granddaddy had that weird kidney disease nobody could figure out, you should probably talk to your doctor about getting tested genetically to see if you have a predisposition for polycystic kidney. So now the question, what should I do? What should I not do if I have PKD or if I think I might have the genes that predispose me to PKD? So the first recommendation, based on not only animal studies, 3 different species of animal, plus now a randomized control trial in human beings. If you have PKD or suspect that you do, you should immediately start a whole food, real, one ingredient ketogenic diet. I've got a ton of videos on my YouTube channel here about what a ketogenic diet is and how to do that in a healthy manner. You should also implement some degree of intermittent fasting, whether that's you fast for 16 hours a day and then have an 8-hour feeding window where you eat 2 ketogenic meals a day. You could even tighten that up even more if you really wanted to put off the disastrous complications that come from PKD. You could fast for 18 hours a day and then have 2 meals in a 6-hour window. Or then some people love just eating 1 meal a day. That's perfectly appropriate if you have PKD or if you are at risk of it, is to just eat 1 ketogenic meal a day and then fast for the remainder of the day. Now keep in mind that a carnivore diet is a subset of a ketogenic diet, and it's going to keep you in ketosis for the vast majority of the day. So if you're like, well, I love meat and eggs, I could just eat 1 huge meat and egg meal a day and be very happy. Absolutely. That's going to be very therapeutic for you if you have PKD or are at risk of developing it. Now, things that doctors very often will give patients advice that's just wrong. It's not based on any research whatsoever. There's no science that bears out these recommendations. Is, you should limit the amount of protein that you eat or limit the amount of red meat. No research backs that up whatsoever. Number 2, you should cut back on salt or limit your salt or avoid salt. Again, in PKD, there is 0 research to recommend a low-salt diet to you. That's not going to help you at all. Next is, you should either drink lots of water or limit your water intake. The goal seems to be, because of the PKD, you're at increased risk of kidney stones, right? The goal seems to be is to drink enough water each day so that your urine is a very light yellow color. You don't need to drink enough water for it to be completely clear, like water. You also don't want it to be moderate or dark yellow. You want it to be light yellow. That's the sweet spot for avoiding the kidney stones. Also, you don't want to overwork your kidneys by just drinking too much unnecessary water. The next is caffeine. A lot of docs will tell you to limit caffeine or avoid caffeine. Literally no research bears that out. If you want a cup of coffee in the morning or a glass of unsweetened tea at lunch, absolutely. There's no problem with caffeine at all. Now, there is some research showing that potassium citrate or magnesium citrate seems to slow down the progression. And so talk to your doctor about a potassium or a magnesium supplement and see if they like that idea, because that's also something that's been shown in some research to slow down the progression a little bit. What about alcohol? You need to avoid alcohol. The worst thing you can do in PKD is to have a sugary mixed drink, like a Manhattan or a Shirley Temple or whatever your poison of choice is. You need to avoid all alcohol. If you want to have 1 drink on your birthday or your anniversary, that's probably fine, but it needs to be a sugar-free, 0 carbohydrate drink, because the thing that's going to destroy your kidney function and make the cyst grow faster, according to this research, is if you drink or eat anything that spikes your blood sugar. That increase of glucose in your bloodstream is going to cause the cyst to grow faster. So you want to keep your blood sugar as low as you can keep it for as many hours a day as you possibly can. And the last thing is, if you're smoking right now, come on, stop smoking. That's dumb. There's no research showing that smoking hastens PKD damage or causes end-stage renal disease quicker, but we know smoking's really bad for you, so just don't do that. Now, on the PKD Foundation's website, they list a couple of example days of eating. And since they recommend the DASH diet, which is based on no research for PKD, I'm not sure where they got these meal recommendations from, but I'm going to give you just a day of eating for somebody with PKD. So you're going to wake up and you're either going to have breakfast and lunch, or you're going to have lunch and dinner. You're going to skip. You're going to have just 2 meals a day. Or you can have just 1 big meal a day. And both of those are ideal for preventing the progression, for protecting your kidney function. So you'll wake up, let's say you're going to have breakfast and lunch and skip dinner. Wake up, you're going to have bacon and eggs or steak and eggs for breakfast. Remember, the protein is not bad for your kidneys at all. There's no research to support that. Red meat is good for your kidneys. It's not bad for your kidneys. So if you want steak and eggs every morning, fine, have at it. And what that's going to do, the healthy fat and healthy protein are going to keep you satiated, keep you full for many hours, so that it makes it much easier for you to do the 16 or 18-hour intermittent fast that you want to do every day to protect your kidney function. Now, the second meal a day, we'll say, is lunch. You could have any kind of meat, any kind of eggs with the yolk, always with the yolk. And then you could have a serving of low-carb vegetables with that. You could have a few low-carb nuts with that and a few low-carb berries for your dessert. And what you definitely don't want to do is snack in between meals. You want to keep your blood sugar and your insulin levels as low as you can for as many hours a day as you possibly can. So now, what if you just want to eat one big meal a day? That meal of the day, for me personally, I would have that in the afternoon, because that just works better for my life, my family, my social. But whatever meal of the day works best for you, you could have as many eggs with bacon, as many eggs with steak. You could have, if you want chicken, that's fine. If you want pork, that's fine. But you're going to have steak, meat, and eggs, and that's it. You're going to eat until you can't eat another bite, and then you'll fast until the next day when you eat a meal like that again. So now, keep in mind, my dietary recommendations are based on studies in mice, in rats, and in cats, and now a randomized control trial in human beings, the most important animal of all when it comes to you and your health. As always, I've linked all the studies that I used to make this video down in the show notes below. If you go to a primary care doctor or a kidney specialist and they say limit meat, limit protein, limit caffeine, any of the stuff I talked about here, or to eat the DASH diet, or to eat, a plant-based diet, realize immediately that their recommendations are based on not a shred of research whatsoever. There is research in humans in a randomized controlled trial showing that a ketogenic diet, which by definition is going to include lots of meat of some kind, because you if you're not going to eat carbs, you got to eat something. 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day with somewhere between 16 and 22 hours of fasting each day, that is going to protect your kidney function and add years to your life and keep you off dialysis for potentially decades. The research is down in the show notes. I hope this video helps. If you know someone who has PKD or a
Sê, baie interessant, né? Hallo Leon. Seker het hierdie die lig is nou baie sleg. Kom ons draai hom so. Sê, hallo Curious is ook hier so. Tanya, hallo almal. Dankie dat julle ingeskakel het. Movin, ja, hierdie Dr. Barry, hy sal 6 jaar karnivoor. Sy vrou doen keto word. Sy is 'n mediese suster, haar naam is Nisha, en julle kan haar en hom gerus volg. Hy het so 3 miljoen volgers op YouTube, baie oulike dokter. Hy Regan, ja, so, ja, hulle skaapchop is ook hier so, ja, sy man, die van Morney, Butterfly, Tanya, MK, Marcus, die apteker is ook in die huis. Marcus, is ook lekker om jou hier te sien. Ons moet die live doen, Marcus. Ek weet jy is 'n besige mens, maar dit sal so lekker wees om met jou live te doen. WhatsApp my bietjie, ek het nie 'n WhatsApp nommer nie. WhatsApp my. My nommer is in die bio, en maak ons 'n afspraak en praat ons bietjie lekker oor gesondheid. Ek dink dit sal 'n baie interessante gesprek wees. Tara Gompie is hier so, iets, Zanika, Wilhelm, Regan, ja, as julle vrae het oor die niere, met julle vra, dan kan ons sommer 'n bietjie daaroor praat. Rooies, Pieter, Cammy, Karen, welkom julle almal. Henk is hier so. Ja, dis interessant die opmerkings wat Dr. Barry nou gemaak het oor, dat op die PKD webblad in Amerika, die Polysistiese Kidney Disease webblad, sê hulle, die dieet het glad nie invloed op jou niere nie. Ja, hoe ridiculous is dit nie, net nie, ja, is ongelooflik. Hallo Raymond, hi Niels, Laurens, Marijks, Johnny, dankie vir die likes wat julle gegee het, man, ek waardeer dit. Selwyn is ook hier so, hallo Selwyn. Ja. Kom ons kyk, wie is nog hier so. Ja, John en Deidre en Lily. Psycho Steve is ook in die huis. Psycho Steve. Sy. Ja, die beginsel wat ek maar net weer vandag in 'n video ook gesê het is, as jy jou niere wil beskerm, die twee grootste goed wat jy kan doen is, hou diabetes weg, en as jy diabetes het, raak ontslae daarvan, ek praat van type 2 diabetes, en hoë bloeddruk, raak ontslae van hoë bloeddruk, daai twee goed is wat jou niere vernietig, is nie vleis nie. En mense wat meer as 30% nierfunksie het, kan die karnivoor dieet doen. Sonja sê hierso, my niere was seer voor keto word, nou het ek geen pyn meer nie. Dit is wonderlik. Hi Monica. Hallo Paul. Ja, so. En die groot ding van die niere is, die niere moet opgepas word. As jy nierprobleme kry, dan is dit groot moeilikheid. Jy weet, hallo Adrian is ook hierso. So mens moet jou niere oppas, en die manier hoe mens jou niere oppas is om ontslae te raak van 'n hoë koolhidraat dieet. 'n Hoë koolhidraat dieet is wat absoluut die niere opvoeder. Dit is die groot ding. En dan natuurlik ook, daar's ander dinge ook wat die niere baie skade aan doen, is dinge soos alkohol. Sonja sê bloeddruk van 200 oor 110 is weg. Ja, en soos ek maar gesê het, mens moet dit altyd maar met jou dokter bespreek. Voor jy die karnivoor dieet doen, bespreek dit met jou dokter. As jou dokter sê is reg, dan kan jy dit doen. Maar soos ek sê, as jy 30% en meer nierfunksie oor het, dan kan jy nog die karnivoor dieet doen. Maar mens moet dit met jou dokter bespreek, want jou dokter moet jou help om jou medikasies minder te maak. Want jou medikasies gaan te sterk wees. Soos jou insulienweerstandigheid weggaan. Reino is ook hier so, hallo Reino. Tish. Clinton. Ja. Magda is ook hier so, hallo Magda. Ja, so julle, dit was die video gewees. En dis oor die nierfunksie. Ja, so pas jou niere op, doen ketovore of karnivoor, oorweeg dit. En as jy coaching soek, ek sal jou help. Op die bio is my nommer, WhatsApp my, en dan doen ek 'n coaching sessie met jou. Ja, so ek sal die details vir jou aanstuur. Ketovore, carnivore. Kom eens kyk. Sonja sê, die dokter is baie gelukkig. Suiker van 10 na 5 toe, 5.4. Wel gedaan. Wel gedaan. Ja, toe. Alright, julle. Okay, so ek, Karina is ook hier so. Hallo Karina, lekker om jou te sien. Ek het my skouers so 'n bietjie seer gemaak. Dis hoekom ek nou nie vreeslik lank geoefen het nie. Ja, daai hamer wat ek so swaai, is toe nou my skouers so 'n bietjie seer gemaak. Ek sal nou so 'n paar dae met uitsit op die oefenery. Ons doen partykeer iets wat nie slim is nie. Bas lady is ook hier so. Right, Jean Ray, hallo Jean Ray, André. Ja. En Hy sê, hallo Johan, my seun het nou hier ingestap. Hy was kerk toe gewees. Hallo Paul. Ja. So. Right julle, ek gaan vir julle naand sê. Was nou lekker, dankie dat almal hier was. En ja, Stel, dankie almal, Marcus, almal van julle. En is nou goed, ek dink is 'n goeie video. Ek sal dit op YouTube sit en dan sal ek dit daar, dan sal ek die link stuur op die broadcast op die coaching platform. Alright, en mooi en 'n rustige aand vir julle almal verder. Ek waardeer dat julle hier was, hoor. Baie, baie dankie. Mooi aand julle.